welcome back once again for the penultimate game of the day. Can we ask the two teams to make their way to the centre of the court? Okay, it's now time to introduce our two teams, starting with All Power. Number 1, Fatmir Sadamete. 5, Nico Vitara. 6, Ito Urne. 7, Esan Solidavi. And number 8, Ernie Miller. The head coach is Timo Martinen. And assistant coach, Axel Simple. And introducing Fen Tigers. Number 1, Joe Roper. 4, Don Roper. 6, Josh McEntee. 7, Dan Roper. And number 9, Dave Scott. The coach is Emma Evans. And assistant coach, Daniel Bettis. Your two referees are Jan Harkas and Yunus Oligiri. Thank you, let's play!
So it's the penultimate game of day number 1 here at the Super European Goalball League Champions League Division North. And it is Fen Tigers taking on Old Power in Pool B. So we've had a fantastic day of goalball action so far on day 1 of the North Division 2023. And we now have the penultimate game, these two sides, second game of the day. Both of these teams coming off the back of victories in their first round of fixtures. Fen Tigers beating RGC Hanse in a goal fest of a match, 10-15. As for Old Power, they defeated Aarhus Goalball 6-3. That was after the opening ceremony earlier on in the day. So, the starting 3 for Fen Tigers. Number 1, Joe Roper. Number 7, Dan Roper. And number 9, Dave Scott. As for Old Power, we have Fatmir Senemeti, Erki Minila and Estan Zovidavi. Well, Old Power, of course, were involved in a really methodical, tactical match earlier on in the day. As for Fen Tigers, it was a bit of a goal fest, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm certain they'll want to tighten up that defence coming into this game today, Florian. Fizzes one through the court, trying to sandwich it in between Joe Roper and Dave Scott. Scott, with the return, is blocked by Senemeti and goes out of play on this near side. Estan Zovidavi, 13 goals at the Euro Bs, trying to add to his tally in the Super European Goalball League Champions League. Here is Dan Roper, his first real attempt now. Tries to get through the defence of Serenmetti that stands up tall. And he replies, goes towards Scott. Dave Scott fizzes one towards his near side, and it's well dealt with by Zovidavi diving to his left. He replies, goes towards Joe Roper, who was so busy in that first game, just all around the court. It was a real help when he came on. Dan Roper, his brother, here trying to find the breakthrough. Erki Minila, he finds the breakthrough. The all-time SEGL scorer gets the first game of our penultimate match of the day. And who else? Of course, it's Erki Minila. Dave Scott trying to respond quickly for Fen Tigers. So just a reminder, Fen Tigers, if you're joining us on the live stream, are to the left of the court in those orange and black striped shirts, with Old Power in all black to the right of your screen.
There's a little gap in Old Power between the legs of Senemeti and the legs of Estan Zovidavi. So I think that's something that Fen Tigers should try to capitalize on.
Just couldn't get that angle quite right, went into the midriff of Estan Zovidavi. Here he goes once again down this near side, it's blocked. Bit of encouragement. Roper goes cross court, Erki Minila reacts and pushes the ball away.
Very solid defense so far on both teams. Oh.
And that that's the gap you were talking about,
Yeah.
Florim, and they've managed to break through that gap. And something that they'll have to try and work on in terms of I'm surprised would they maybe bring a timeout and try and sort out that situation.
Yeah, and it's actually quite easily fixed, because if you just put Ehsan Zabidavi up like two decimeters and in 2 decimeters, you will close up the angle completely.
Sedimenti. It's well wide this
Well
time.
wide,
Fat mare here is Dave Scott. He actually works his way from the far side to the near side of the court. Here is Scott trying to go for that same gap again, but Zavidavi has it and he quickly responds. Scott does well to get back into position so quickly. And it clears the ball away. 1-1. 8 minutes and 47 seconds to go in this first half. Here is Dan Roper. Already this game is feeling a bit more of a tighter game for Fen Tigers than it was against RGC Hansa.
Yeah, definitely. They are really pushing the left-hand side of the defense in Old Power. Good effort from Seremeti there, firing the line just in the center. Scott picks up the ball on the right-hand side. Wide out.
Ricky Miller now has just moved over to this near side of the court, goes across the court trying to find that gap between Joe and Dave Scott on that far left side of the court. Dave Scott has it and goes back towards the middle, towards Fatmir Seremeti, but he's there and picks up the ball on the second attempt. Zavidavi just leans on the crossbar, cross-court effort that's picked up one-handed by Dave Scott. Hands the ball over to the main danger man. And Roper goes towards Zavidavi, and here is the half-time, the timeout, I should say, from the head coach of Old Power, Timo Leitinen.
Yeah, and he gives the ball to Erkki Minala, gives him some kind of instructions. Timo is pointing to the left-hand side of the goal and the offense. I think he's giving the offensive instructions, but I would go to close the gap in between Fastner and Ehsan. If they do that, I think they have the upper edge. But Erkki now with the ball on the right-hand side. Erkki Minala.
Roper tries to find that gap once again, and Zavidavi manages to just stick a leg out. Zavidavi goes down this near side and just wide of this near post.
No one has the ball. Roper thinks he has the ball.
And it's a bit of a panic here, and he gets rid of it quickly. He realises
a huge misunderstanding in the team, because Dan Roper thought Scott would pick up the ball and go out. So it was very close to 10 seconds, but it was managed.
Chance to reset here for Fen Tigers. They get away with the 10-second penalty. Here is Dave Scott.
A high ball.
And a high ball is called, yeah.
And Old Power missed 5 penalties in the previous game, so we'll see if they can capitalize on this one.
Sedimenti, can he score?
He can.
Yes, he does. 1 out of 1.
1 out of 1, a very solid penalty there, just in the corner on the right-hand side.
And it's a good response though from Fen Tigers. Dan Roper points towards the team bench area and into that gap once again, as we've talked about previously in the match. That's twice now that they've managed to exploit it.
They are that gap.
Is that Zovidavi? Can he respond? Can't get through. The two ropers out on the pitch. Down and Joe, but here's Dave Scott's trying to go for that gap once again. They've clearly been given that instruction from Emma.
But the gap is very, very clear, so I think... Oh!
Well, that is a beautifully placed finish from Estan Zovidavi as he went over to that far side of the court and it hit the stanchion in the back of the net on that far side. It was so accurate. Almost nothing Dave Scott could really do about that one. Again going for that gap, but just enough reach for Fatmir Seremeti. Oh, and Erkki Milner responds, and it's 4-2. And just as Fen Tigers were starting to maybe get a bit of momentum, Old Power have snatched it away. Here is Dave Scott. Stands Zovidavi. There to block. Smothers the ball, and a timeout has been called by
here.
Fen Tigers.
Yeah, and I think Timo really should address the gap that is between Fatmir and Esan.
So is that a case of Esan moving across just a little bit, or is that the other way around?
It's when the ball is on the right hand side of the court, Esan needs to go up and in to kill off the angle, but Fatmir is also sitting a little too far on the right hand side. I see that in his position because Fatmir used to be my player when I was the coach, and I see that he is a little bit too far on the right hand side.
Dan Roper going for that gap again. Oh, just sticks a leg out.
Yeah.
Fatmir Seremeti, it's an obvious ploy at the moment for Fen Tigers. Dave Scott, oh, just
very good throw there from Seremeti.
Scott going for that gap once again. I feel like it's deja vu all the time. Oh, good work.
But I think a good solution just to calm down the defense in the Old Power would be to put up Erkki in the center and put down Fatmir on the right wing, just for a couple of minutes, just to give the Fen Tigers new angles to be able to think about.
Scott's going towards the near corner once again. Quick reply from Estan Zovidavi that just goes past the near post. 5 minutes to go in the first half.
4:59 remaining. 4 goals for Power, 2 for Fen Tigers. Now Dan Roper from right hand side to the left hand side.
And it's a big goal for Dan Roper and for Fen Tigers. Just keeping Old Power at arm's length. Can Erkki Milner hit back straight away? Joe Roper is there in the centre. Dan Roper handing it over to his brother, going towards Estan Zovidavi, but gets his body behind it. And that is wide of the far post.
You can see here what I mean with Esa needs to move up.
And there we go, once again.
Yeah.
That gap is causing all kinds of problems for Old Power, and it's let Fen Tigers back into the game here. 4-4, but is it going to be the quick response? It is.
Very quick return there from Fatmir Seremeti.
So just as Fen Tigers had clawed their way back into this game, power respond and shouts of encouragement from Erkki Minala. Dave Scott.
Goal.
And it's another goal for Fen Tigers. This time Zovi Davi does get a foot to it, but it goes into the back of the net. It's 5-5, and our old power just exploring the possibility of a substitution here with Utu Erdonen is trying to come on.
It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of substitution they are going to make now. Is it Ceremeti or Davidavi that has to go out, get out of court?
Dave Scott down the centre of the court, and here is that substitution. So Zovi Davi coming off, Utu Erdonen coming onto the court.
I still think it would be wise to either have Erkki on the center for a couple of minutes, just to so that the Fen Tigers need to recalculate the aim. Now they're gonna have Etu on the right hand side, Erkki Minala on the left hand side.
Dan Roper hugging the right post, goes towards Minala down this near side. Erkki Minala towards Joe Roper. And already, just from even from this angle, you can see Minala has just closed that gap already.
Yeah. It's not as obvious at all now as it was before.
Dan Roper, effort blocked.
Yeah, cross court and good block there by Etu.
Here is Dave Scott on that far sideline. Utu Erdonen gets his body behind it. 2 minutes 22 seconds left on the clock. Dan Roper, good effort. It's pushed away by Erdonen, the substitute.
2:07 remaining. 5-5.
Dave Scott.
Very close to a high ball there.
What a wicked effort from Fatma Ceremeti. Took two of the Ropers to stop that one.
Very good effort, yeah. And we have an eye shades check on Joe. Played really well also in this game.
Erkki Minala towards Joe Roper. At the moment for Fen Tigers, this does feel like a really nice settled three at the moment out on the court.
And now since it's a substitution, they made an old power that's a completely different attitude on the court in the defense also. You can see it's much calmer now.
Dave Scott. Camilla right behind it, quickly responds. Oh, that had a bit of venom to that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and Dave and Joe Roper, I should say, did his best to try and keep it from preventing a ball over, but it is back to Old Power.
Very solid defense from Eto Eronen since he entered the court.
So into the final 25 seconds of the first half. Nothing to separate these two teams. Svadmir Senemeti gets his upper body behind that. And scores! Svadmir Senemeti!
A goal from Fatmir Senemeti with 15 seconds remaining. 6-5.
Oh, a bit of just a hint of spin
Yeah.
from Dave Scott there. Just trying to catch out Eetu Erdenen on that far right side. Timeout has been called with 1 second left on the clock.
I was wondering because it was very, very close to the. Yeah. They wanted to avoid the 10 seconds penalty. It's 1 second remaining here, and nothing more is going to happen this half.
Yep, so Eetu can just simply stand with the ball and just wait for the half-time hooter to sound.
No, he needs to drop the ball, otherwise the timeout is meaningless. They're just gonna hold the ball now.
And there we go, half-time then between Fen Tigers and Old Power. And it is Old Power who lead by 6 goals to 5 in a game that's really twisted and turned all the way through that opening 12 minutes. No team has really been on top for a lengthy spell. It's been one team's hit back, then the next. But at the moment, just that 1 goal margin separating the two teams.
Yeah, definitely. But considering the gap that Old Power had through 8 minutes of the first half, I think Fen Tigers could have used that a little bit more to stay up in the lead. But it was a good substitute to take out Zevidavi and take Minalan to the left hand side, because Eto is very solid in the defense on the right hand side. And you could see that in Old Power that after a couple of minutes, their self-belief really came back.
So Fen Tigers could be planning a few, maybe 1, maybe 2 substitutions at the break, if I heard correctly down at the referees table that's below us here in our commentary box. So a reminder that this is our penultimate game of day 1. We'll finish the day with Aarhus Goalball taking on GC Perun. That'll be our final game, coming from Pool B. And there will be a half-time substitution. Mackenzie comes on for Fen Tigers to replace Dave Scott. And it's as you were for Old Power at the start of this second half.
McKinty, for those of you who can't see, he plays with a helmet. Why, I don't actually know. But there used to be a Danish player who played with a helmet many years ago, but he needed to play that because he had some surgery before, so that he needed to play with a helmet. So I don't know why McKinty plays with it.
Seuraava game between Ben Tigers on my left, Old Flowers on my right. Out of the position, Ben Tigers out number 9, in number 6. Out and go, Ben Tigers 5, Old Power 6. Old Power will start the ball. White please, set. Play!
Erkki Millonen gets us underway in this second half. Here is Dan Roper standing in the centre of his goal, tries to get through that gap. Millonen just telling his players just no worries.
Easy peasy.
McKenzie now with his first attempt in the game on that far left side, goes down that far sideline. That's blocked by Erdonen, and he will respond. Safely in the hands of Dan Roper, and he goes back towards Erdonen.
Good change of pace there in the throw from Erdonen, just to keep the defense guessing.
Erkki Millonen goes towards the centre of the Fen Tigers goal. Roper, it's a backward bouncing effort that just comes off the head of Erdonen and into the back of the net. It's the first goal of this second half, and it's 6-6. An important first strike for Fen Tigers in this second half. They got it back to all square. Sarametti trying to respond quickly. Joe Roper though, solid. McKenzie trying to get past Sarametti, but just palms it into the path of Erdonen on that far right side. Erdonen responds with a cross-court effort that goes wide of the near post.
Now Fen Tigers is really aiming on the other side now of the court.
Oh, and Erkki Millonen makes no mistake.
And that's the hat trick for Erkki Millonen.
Seven, 6, 10 minutes to go. All good work from Millonen, but a wicked effort from Roper down this near sideline.
Very good effort. Dan was a little bit too quick in. Dan Roper now from right to left hand side and throws into the gap, but collected by Etu. Erdonen on the right hand side. It's an upward bounce.
Sarametti now just leans on the crossbar and hurls himself forward towards Roper. Roper, body on the line, palms the ball over to his brother Dan towards Erkki Millonen, but that goes past the near post. Like cross-court efforts. McKenty and Joe Roper just getting their bodies in the way. McKenty now with his effort that's blocked. Johnny Erlin. So 8.5 minutes to go. It's still only that 1 goal margin. It's not been a complete goal fest compared to the previous Fen Tigers game, although still at 13 goals so far.
There's a small gap in the Fen Tigers on the left-hand side here between the Roper brothers. If you just can get a good angle from the sideline. And there.
McKenty now goes towards Fatmir Sedameti. Nuki Miller goes towards McKenty and
Just blocked out by the hands of McKenty. We have 7:56 remaining, 7 goals for Old Power, 6 goals for Fen Tigers, and we have a timeout for Fen Tigers.
certainly do. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Dave Scott and Dom Roper just keeping the bodies loose in case they are required. Roper with that effort, so Meti responds. Joe Roper's in the way this time. Joe Roper, 360-degree throw. Puts a bit of bounce on this one that falls kindly to E2 Ordinen. Ordinen with the response. Oh, and Erkki Miller's close on that occasion as it ricochets off the post. Roper fizzes one down the court. Miller responds and tries to break through that gap of the two Roper brothers, but they hold on. Under 7 minutes to go. Dan Roper goes for it and breaks through the all-power defence. So in a matter of seconds, they nearly found themselves at 8-6 down, but now it's 7-7. As we edge towards the final quarter of this epic contest.
McKenty now on the left-hand side, so wide. Aaronen with the ball on the right-hand side. McKenty again on the left-hand side. Throws into the gap, blocked out by Fatmir.
And it's a curling, spinning effort from Miller. McKenty gets his body in the way. Dan Roper's had initially started over on that far side of the court. He's in the centre, goes towards this near side, hits the post and goes wide. Miller trying to break through that Roper brothers defence. Can't do this time. Dan Roper responds. can't get past Erkki Minilat. Into the final quarter of the game.
McKenty with the ball on the left-hand side, so it's cross-court. Blocked by Minala with a quick return. And blocked out by a very energetic McKenty.
He really is. He threw himself at the ball and just got a fingertip to it to just push it round that far post. McKenty with that effort that's blocked by Fatmir Sarameti. Sarameti, 2 hands on the ball initially, but just the strong right hand launching it towards the far side. Dan Roper, 360-degree throw once again towards the far right of the Old Power goal.
Aaronen from the right-hand side goes to the left-hand side, throws cross-court and blocked by the feet of Joe. Gives the ball back to Dan. Goes to the center, blocked by Fatmir, gives the ball to Minala, throws cross-court, saved by the feet of McKenty. And we have some mopping off the floor.
Yeah, Dan Roper was just calling for the mop. Getting later onto the game, sweat dripping down, just making it a bit slippery on foot for the players.
Even though we are in cold Finland.
Yes.
And we have 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining of this furious game.
It really has been a fantastic game to follow. We cannot separate these two teams into the final 5 minutes.
And we have nice hit checks on Dan Roper also. So the ball is going to come in on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Emma Evans was just giving Joe Roper some instructions. Interesting to see if it's anything. There's a dummy run from Joe. Dan hurls the ball from this near side.
Fatmir has the ball now on center. Throws from center out and to the post. And just kept outside.
It just trickled along that goal line.
Yeah, and a
Erkki
quick
Minilat.
return from Minala.
Suddenly this game has just gone into 100 miles an hour. Dan Roper just slows it down for a second as he launches the ball towards the middle of the Old Power goal. Still over 4 minutes remaining. This epic battle. Erkki Minilat.
They're really pushing the pace now, but I think if Erkki would throw a deep pocket from the left-hand side here into the pocket between the Roper brothers, that might just be a goal. A bit of miscommunication there with the drop off of the ball. Fatmir blocked from the feet. Passes to Erkki. Erkki here on the left-hand side. Goes cross-court, blocked by the hands of the 3:30 remaining, 7-7.
Yeah, he stands up tall and fizzes one down the centre of the court. Fatmir Sarameti goes to his right, responds quickly. Joe Roper saves and scurries after the ball. Dan Roper takes it over the ball, heads towards that far right side of the goal. It's blocked by the big man, Itu Oronen. Gets a bit of bounce this one.
Are we going to have a third equalizing game today?
It's been, yeah, it's
We have
very
already
interesting.
had two.
We
A
have.
5-5 and an 8-8.
Oh, but there's the goal from Old Power.
But Fatmir says otherwise. 2:49 remaining.
So
That's his 4th goal of the day. Of the game, sorry.
Fen Tigers need to respond. Joe Roper, a bit of bounce this one, but it's comfortably saved in the end. Sermetti. 2 minutes 20. Can he just open up a bit of a lead here? A timeout has been called by Fen Tigers.
And that's their second in this half, so only 1 remaining and 2:16 remaining of the clock time. We have 7 goals for Fen Tigers and 8 goals for Old Power. A lot of goals, but I still think it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, it's been a really entertaining watch. It's no team has really got away. They've always been able to just sort of stay within each other's grasp. But a goal here for Old Power would really give them that advantage going into the final couple of minutes if they can snatch one after the timeout. Fen Tigers, however, would really like to respond here, get it back to 8-8 and set up what could be standing final 2 minutes. Roper, Camilla does well, holds on to it. Both these coaches just pacing around the team bench area. Van Roper gets it through that gap. Well, it is 8-8.
Just underneath the feet of Fatmir Sermetti there. Fatmir on the right-hand side.
Tips onto
Just
the post.
blocked out by the post from McKinty. Good effort from Sermetti. Dan Roper now takes the ball on the left-hand side, throws from the left-hand side. Easy block there from Sermetti, gives the ball to Minala. Minala goes around just outside the post.
Well, just over 90 seconds remaining of this second half. What a brilliant game it's been so far. And they found a way through, they have.
We have a beautiful goal from Fatmir there from the right-hand side, straight down the line on the feet of Joe, and we have 9-8 for Old Power. Fatmir's 5th goal.
Oh, just gets that all wrong, does Josh McKenty.
Minala with the ball on the left-hand side, throws cross-court, blocked out by McKenty. Dan Roper picks up the ball on the left-hand side, shoots from the left-hand side. Long ball.
It is a long ball, given it was close, but it is a long ball. And now this is a really big opportunity for Old Power to get that 2-goal advantage, and they will be seconds away from claiming their 2nd win of the day. And there's Sermetti. Can he just open up that scoreboard? Goes towards that far side. It's out. It's wide. So a lifeline here for Fen Tigers.
Yeah, that could be very costly.
Josh McKenty comes off, and we'll have all 3 Roper brothers for the final.
The Fen Ropers.
For the final 58 seconds. So Dom Roper making his way onto the courts once he goes through all the equipment checks required.
Dom has the first throw now from the right-hand side. An awkward bounce there, blocked by Minala.
composes himself, uses all that experience. Can he make another breakthrough? It bounces bubbles just into the path of Dom Roper. He quickly responds, a bit of bounce on that one into the feet of Fatmir Sedameti, and he just touches the crossbar of his left hand, propels himself forward, finds the gap and scores.
And
it's
a beautiful
10-8.
goal again from Sedameti. That's his goal number 6 in this game. And there have been crucial goals. "22 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen, and we have 10 goals for Old Power, 8 for the Fen Tigers. Not a good game defensively, if you ask me, but in the offense there have been some gems in this game, definitely.
Yeah, if goals is what you're looking for, then you've certainly been treated to goals when Fen Tigers have been in action. So 22 seconds remaining. Old Power so close to securing 2 wins on the opening day. And it's now 11 for Old Power. This final minute to the game has gone the way of the team from Espoo in Finland, Old Power. Erkki Minala will be coming away from this one with a huge smile on his face, along with all his teammates.
Yeah, we got another timeout now for Old Power when it's 12 seconds remaining. I think it's just gonna kill off some time and then throw with about 4 or 5 seconds remaining on the clock. So interesting to see Minala and Sedameti play together. They have been fierce competitors for so many years, playing against each other, heckling each other, and now they are best buddies playing together.
Timeout called by Fen Tigers. So both of these teams, of course, will be in action tomorrow. Fen Tigers' first game tomorrow will be up against GC Perun. As for Old Power, they'll be up against RGC Hansa. We still have 7 seconds remaining of this second half.
Yeah, they can get one more goal.
Yeah, anything to help the goal difference potentially? It could change positions, who you play in the qualification round, and it's saved, and the final few seconds, here we go, and that is full time, and it's a win for Old Power. Back-to-back wins on day 1 of the Super European Goalball League Champions League Division North. As for Fen Tigers, they pushed Old Power all the way up until that final minute, really, where Old Power just pulled ahead. But it's a win and a defeat for Fen Tigers. But Old Power, job done on day 1.
Job done, definitely, but they really need to practice their penalties. They missed a lot of penalties today. That could have given them a little bit better chances to run away from it earlier.
Okay, well, we have one final game to come on day 1. Pool B action once again, and it is Aarhus Goalball against GC Perun. That'll be coming up very shortly.